Get out, you're not welcome here. The words hit me like a tidal wave, crashing over me as I stood in the doorway of my own coastal cottage. My duffel bag slipped from my shoulder, my heart pounding as I faced my sister's husband, Mark, his face contorted with disdain. Behind him, his entire clan, parents, siblings, cousins lounged across my living room, sipping from my mugs, their sandy shoes scuffing my hardwood floors. I'm Elise, 34, a marine ecologist in Wilmington, North Carolina. This cottage, perched on the edge of Wrightsville Beach, was my hard-earned haven, bought with years of savings from long nights studying coral reefs. Yet here was Mark, acting like I was the intruder. "Mark, this is my house," I said, voice steady despite the fury simmering inside. He smirked, arms crossed. "Lila said we could use it. Family reunion. You're not invited, so leave." I scanned the room for my sister, Lila, who was fussing with a cheese platter in the kitchen, avoiding my gaze. 2 days ago, at our cousin's wedding, I'd told her I was coming here to recharge after a grueling research season. She'd smiled, wished me well. Now, her silence screamed betrayal. "Lila," I called, cutting through the chatter. "Did you forget I was coming?" She shrugged, eyes on her phone. "You're always working, Elise. I figured you'd cancel. The house is empty most of the time anyway." Mark stepped closer. "We've got 20 people here. You're one. Do the math. Go back to Wilmington." The room went quiet, his family watching like I was the villain in their vacation drama. I'd always been the peacemaker, the one who lent Lila money for their car payments, who hosted their kids for sleepovers. But this was a line crossed. I smiled, cold and sharp. "Fine. Enjoy your weekend." Mark blinked, expecting a fight. I turned, walked to my car, and drove to a nearby diner. My hands shook as I dialed my lawyer, Sarah, then my property manager, and finally a contact I'd hoped never to need. By dusk, my plan was set. I checked into a motel, the ocean's hum of faint comfort as I wrestled with doubt. Was I really doing this? Burning bridges with Lila over a cottage? Then I remembered Mark's sneer, Lila's indifference. Yes, I was doing this. Growing up, Lila was the golden child, 3 years older, always the center of attention. I was the quiet one, nose in books about ocean ecosystems. Our parents adored us both, but Lila's light burned brighter. I didn't mind my career, my cottage, my life were mine, built without their help. I'd given Lila a key, thinking family meant trust. I was wrong. The next morning, I met Sarah in Wilmington. "They're trespassing," she said, scribbling notes. "You could call the police, but with Lila's key, it's murky." Or, she leaned forward, eyes gleaming. "We make them regret stepping foot in your house." "Tell me how," I said. By noon, everything was in motion. Utilities in my name? Suspended. Sheriff's notice? Filed. All legal, all ruthless. I sipped coffee at a beachside cafe waiting. At 3 p.m., Sarah called. "It's done. They're feeling it now." Lila's call came minutes later, voice shrill. "Elise, the power's out. The water's off. What did you do?" "I'm the owner," I said calmly. "I turned off utilities for unauthorized guests. You're welcome to leave. You're heartless. Mark's parents are elderly. Then take them somewhere else. Like Mark told me to do." She hung up, furious. Mark called next, spitting venom. "You'll pay for this. My mom's diabetic." "Mom's diabetic." "Then find a hotel," I said. "Oh, and you've got until 6 p.m. before the sheriff removes you for trespassing." My parents called, pleading. "Elise, this isn't you," Mom said. "Let them stay." "No," I said. "They betrayed me. I'm done being your doormat." At 5:45, I parked near the cottage, watching cars load up with sullen faces. Lila stood on the porch, arms crossed, looking defeated. The sheriff arrived at 6, clearing the house with quiet efficiency. I stepped inside afterward, heart heavy but resolute. The place was trashed, wine stains on my rug, cigarette butts on my deck, my bedroom ransacked. Worst of all, my grandmother's sapphire ring, a heirloom from the woman who inspired my career, was gone. I called Lila. "The ring's missing. Someone stole it." "You're paranoid," she snapped. "Maybe you lost it." I'm filing a police report, I said. Find it, or I name everyone who was here. The next day, Officer Rivera took my statement, photographing the damage. Proving theft is tough without evidence, she warned. I'll get it, I said. That night, Mark's sister, Tara, called. Elise, I wasn't there, but what Mark did was awful. He's broke, bad investments. He might have taken the ring. A week later, Officer Rivera called. We found your ring at a pawn shop. Security footage shows Mark pawning it Saturday night. My stomach churned. What now? We're arresting him. Grand larceny. The ring's worth $5,000. The arrest hit the news. My parents begged me to drop charges, claiming family loyalty. I refused. He stole from me. You enabled it. Months later, at the cottage, Lila visited, broken. I was wrong, she sobbed. Mark lied about everything: debts, the ring. I'm divorcing him. I forgave her, cautiously. We're rebuilding slowly. Mark got 2 years for theft and embezzlement from his job, his life unraveling. My parents, humbled by their own financial ruin, apologized, but trust remains fractured. The cottage is my sanctuary again, filled with friends, not freeloaders. I'd lost a family that took me for granted, but found my strength. Standing on my deck, the ocean whispering, I knew I hadn't just reclaimed my home. I'd reclaimed myself.